show, Jack and Colleen, aka JJJJJJC. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Y Ryan.
And welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're recording on Thursday this week because Zachary, my son, and I went to a brewery in Durham last night, and we joined Jesse and a whole bunch of other fans, and Sandra, the queen, and her daughters were there too. It was super, super fun. So thank you all for being patient.
I want to hear all of the adventuring.
Okay, so Zachary and I did a patron bonus show last night after we got home because we were both very stoked. We were very hyper. We actually tried to find a geocache that was across the street, across the courtyard, like from our thing last night, and we were like very hyper. Like Zachary and I are the same person in terms of like energy levels and annoyingness. So, yeah, Jack is nodding. So good times. It's true. It's true.
I just like to agree. I'm not going to argue with anyone today.
It has been confirmed.
It's true. It's true. Zachary got Jay's body type and my terrible personality, and and Alex got my body type.
That's not true. Zach has a good personality.
He does have a good personality. I'll give you that. But I do see shades of when I'm annoying. Where I'm like, oh, Colleen, you would have been voted off the island if you had done that. Hello, everybody. Zachary was wonderful last night. It was very, very great. Jesse and Ryan.
He looked excited.
He was so excited.
Yes,
so
the pictures were so cute.
Jesse and Ryan are his two favorite players this season. And he was very bummed that Ryan went home. But he was also very excited to meet Jesse, but he was so nervous. So two stories of note. We got there a few minutes early, and Elena and the other people at our table, our other friends, were like, "Hey, there's another survivor here," and as you guys know, I wear contacts, but I also have very bad vision. I can't drive at night anymore. It's actually kind of really gross because I'm too young to not be able to drive at night anymore. But also, I can't see in, dimly lit rooms. So I'm looking and I'm squinting and I'm like, oh, I don't see any other survivor. I'm thinking of, Carla or somebody from this season. I'm looking and I'm like, I don't see anybody. And they're like, don't you see over there in the queen sweatshirt? And I'm like, who? What sweatshirt? Old lady voice. And they're like, and, literally the whole table at the same time goes, in the queen sweatshirt. And I don't even look. I was like, oh my God. Is Sandra here? Is Sandra in the same room as us right now? And they were like, yes,
she
dummy.
lives in North Carolina, right?
I don't know. No. Johnny Fairplay lives in North Carolina. I think she lives.
I know he lives here, but
I don't know. Somebody Google it while I'm talking.
I thought she used to live in Fayetteville, didn't she?
Oh, that makes sense because her husband's a veteran.
Right.
So then maybe she did, because that makes sense why she was at the Nashville thing for Mandy too, because that's within driving distance. But she and her daughters were there. But literally, I was just like, oh my God! I figured it out before I saw her because I just couldn't see. And then I was like, oh my God, Sandra's here! This just got real. So I texted you guys. And then I know my Zachary. I was like, "Hey Zach, let's go to the bathroom before the show starts, so that way because it was a big room that was full of she said she was 2 hours away. She is in Fayetteville. Okay, so there we go, Elena.
Fayetteville shouldn't be 2 hours away, should it?
From Durham.
I guess from Durham. Okay.
Durham's 20 minutes from us and a half hour from you.
Okay.
Hi Elena, by the way. So anyway, and Elena, do you want to come on and fill in any details I'm missing?
Share the stories?
Yeah. So if you do, let me know. I'll text you right now. I think it's literally the last thing I copy and pasted to them, so it should be no big deal.
She said she's high.
Hi. I have no makeup on either because we have no hot water. So I'm really trying to keep the wash. So I didn't wash my face last night after wearing makeup because the cold water felt like it sucks so much that I waited until this morning because it sucks so much to not have hot water and wash your face. So that's totally fine if you want to. I don't have anything either, literally, because I can't bear. I was like, I'd rather wear no makeup for the YouTube public than have to wash my face with cold water again because our hot water heater died and it's not going to get replaced until next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, and it's going to be shitty. Oops. Sorry, I just sent you the wrong link. Apparently I said, okay, so full disclosure, Elena, the link that I sent you was something that I meant to send to that I originally sent to Shandy, and it's political, so I apologize for that. You weren't expecting something political.
Who did Shandy pick for me last week?
I don't know. I don't think you won, though, so JK on that one.
I would have chosen Ryan.
We'll find out. We'll find out. I haven't even pulled it up yet. Anyway, so Elena, I just sent you the link. It was super fun. I'm very glad that we went. Very glad that we went. But anyway, so Zach and I went to the bathroom and we were coming back and I was like, okay, nobody's sitting with Sandra except your daughters. Let me just say hi right now. I'm not going to ask for a picture. I'm just going to say hello. So I go up to her. Oh, send it in Messenger. Oh, Elena, you're so demanding. Just kidding. I love you. You're not really that demanding. So we come out of the bathroom and, I'm like, oh my God, hi. I am very excited to meet you. I'm a really huge fan.
I haven't showered in a week.
I haven't. No. At that point, I hadn't. No,
have you been on Survivor? Because
I know, right? I fit right in with all of them. So anyway, at that point, I was thinking like, oh, I haven't showered in a week. No, I actually, the only reason I washed my hair yesterday morning, as painful as it was because I knew that I was going to be doing this thing last night. I don't even know if I would have. Okay, just kidding. I just sent Elena the same link twice in a row. That was the wrong link.
Me too, Fizzlehoff.
I'm really sorry.
I'm getting there.
I really, really, really wanted you to know what the Federalist Society said about birth control being bad that I sent it to you twice.
Three times.
I sent it 3 times. I'm so sorry. Hey, Janet. I know Janet feels me. Jack, how are you feeling?
I'm getting there.
He's getting there.
It's my daycare schedule has really gotten hectic, so.
Yes, because you're watching children constantly, and the children are always sick.
Well, I to be fair, I think I gave it to them.
No, you got RSV from the one that's in school because it's going around. Literally, where did you get RSV from, Jack?
Germany.
You would know.
I was sick when I came back. They kept me in the waiting room. They wouldn't let me out. And I won't say what I said on the Ramblecast, but I said these Germans are acting like it's I think of a term for Germans. And back in the day, and they literally the security guard every time I walked out would come stop me and say, you have to go back. I go, oh, Jesus Christ. And these people are in there, they're getting blood tests and all this other stuff, and I had a mask on, but anyway.
Swimming in the germ.
So wait a second. So Ava didn't come home with RSV from school. Hi, Elena. You brought RSV back from Germany?
I don't know. I was sick when I came back, so.
And then it turned into pneumonia for 3 of the 4 of you.
Yeah, I told them, I said, because I told all the parents, I said, just let your kids a heads up. I'll watch your kids, but I'm sick. And then after that, they all got sick. So I was a super spreader, and it all because I was stuck in a waiting room for 4.5 hours in Germany.
You were in an ER, you were on a cruise, and you were on an airline at
So you literally had the trifecta of disease.
Yeah, you hit every mark there. Woo!
Yeah, I spent about 6 hours in the Amsterdam airport looking just for anything, someone who could help us get to where we needed to go.
Jay and I are going to Germany for a Geek Dead Life thing in February. You're gonna watch my kids. Thank you.
I'll probably be sick again.
You won't be. You won't be. But our flight home already has gotten canceled, and they rebooked us, and they tried to rebook us on a flight that got back at 11 o'clock at night. And I, called Delta, and I was like, no, thank you. We purposely picked a flight that got home in the afternoon because we wanted to see our kids. So you canceled this. You're going to do what you can do.
And I want you to see your kids as soon as possible.
Yeah, I know. You're going to after a week. Oh, my God. You're going to. But anyway, they ended up rebooking us on a flight. So instead of the 17 different layovers, we only have one layover in Paris for 6 hours. So we're totally going to go do Paris things in that 6 hours. We figured out a plan of action. And I don't know where I was going this other than you were stuck in the airport, but I'm leaving the airport to go do Paris things. Anyway.
Well, if Delta, which is their affiliate in Europe, is KLM.
Yes, they are. They're the ones that canceled, actually, KLM.
They suck.
Yes, they do. But the new affiliate is not KLM. It's a different airport. It's a different airline that's probably very similar to that. But the original one was through KLM, but this is through a different company or whatever. And I'm glad because we had, like I said, multiple layovers at that point. But here we only have the one at Charles de Gaulle Airport. So Gailles Airport, but. By de Gaulle. Okay, so we're only there. But then I talked to Colkie and Kevin, and they were like, "Oh, that airport's a mess." When we went to Italy to book our wedding venue, we flew in there, and we had an hour and a half layover, and we all missed it because customs was so bad. But I'm like, "But we're not going through customs there. We're going to go through customs back at RDU." And then I was all freaked out. I was like, oh my God, should I get global entry? But then I talked to my sister, and she's had global entry since it started. And she reapplied because hers expired during the pandemic. She applied to renew it 8 months ago. And she's 8 months later, there's still no update on it. And I renewed it, paid for it, all that. And there's nothing. I was like, okay, so we're probably not going to get global entry.
In Amsterdam, the next morning, we almost missed our flight. We almost didn't make our flight in London to Heathrow because it took so long to get through Amsterdam.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they have no kiosks where you can just scan your information. All we needed was a boarding pass, and we were trying to get I mean, it's a long story. I can't even.
Don't freak me out. I don't need this right now. I'm already. The fact that I'm not going to have hot water for another week is already stressing me out. Where I locked myself in the pantry tonight, freaking out.
4 times we had to show our passports.
Oh gosh.
4 times, and then we finally get there, and then the plane's delayed because it says it's not clean. I go, I don't care. Just get the plane up in the air. I mean, it was.
Says the guy with RSV.
First flight in the morning. I got it. I don't care. First flight in the morning. Just how's it not clean? What were you doing the night before? So then we get to London, and we got an hour. So they have to take us. These airports are so effing big. They're
huge.
So Heathrow, and that's the second time I've been to Heathrow, but we had to take a bus to our gate. It took almost 20 minutes. Ooh. So now we got 40 minutes to get on the plane. So we get into the gate, we have to go through another checkpoint thing just to get through. I go, why? And so then we get through. My bag gets flagged.
Oh my gosh!
So I'm just sitting there going, I give up. And so when we start walking, and it was at least 1.5 miles, 2 miles to our gate. We got there 5 minutes to spare. This lady asked me, she goes, because Cindy was in the restroom, can I ask you a few questions? She goes, how has your experience been? I go, it sucks. I go, it's not your fault. I go, but it absolutely sucks.
So I've been through Heathrow twice, and I actually have had fairly decent luck both times. But my bag did get flagged, I believe, the second time I was there. And I think I pulled the pregnancy card because I was pregnant with Alex at the time. But
you gotta use it. You gotta use it when you got it.
Yes. But the first time, I don't think I had any issue. I think, the first time was in 2010, and we were surprised at how fast, like, we got there 3 hours early, and we were like, oh my god, we got here so quick. But it was also like a Wednesday, like a random day of the week. And then we had like the normal wait times the second time that I was there.
We should have been there 2.5 hours early, but with the plane being delayed.
Well, we figured out, like, when we go to, when we have that Paris layover, it's 30 minutes. If we don't have to go through customs, it's all is like pending not having the same experience as Chris and Kevin had. If we don't have to go through customs, if we can get off quickly, it's a half hour to the center of the city. We have 6 hours. We can spend like an hour there, 2 hours there. We can head.
There's a lot of traffic in Paris.
Sure, but we're gonna take the train from the airport to the thing. Okay. The whole plan is like everybody here like tuned in to hear Survivor, and like 20 minutes in, they're like, "Here's Survivor Europe."
The trains are good.
Colleen, make sure there's a second flight if you miss yours, or intentionally book a longer layover to get to Where'd you say you're going?
No, we're flying from France to Raleigh direct.
No, you don't want a longer layover. You want to get home.
Yeah, no. Sorry,
no, our 6 hour layover. I
thought it was on the way out.
No, the best part about the 6 hour layover is when we booked the flights. They were like, "Do you want to pay the $150 per person," which is freaking annoying, to book the flight to check the bags, because apparently if you're flying to Europe, it's $150 to book a flight, and we're gonna be there for a week, so we know we're gonna have luggage, because it's me and it's the winter time. If it was the summertime, we probably could have fit it all in one, but like, winter clothes are heavier and bigger, so we were like, okay, we'll just pay for it now so we don't have to deal with it later. However, they ended up refunding us all of that because you're from economy to main cabin was like the difference in it, which, whatever, considering the only difference was the check flight cost, it like seemed ridiculous. But, because the one leg from Germany to Paris, they can't get us in that main cabin. It's just economy. They refunded us the extra cost of that for both, but we're still listed as those tickets. So I'm hoping we can still, check our bags like we paid for. But I was like, I think we might have also beat the system that we're gonna get our bags checked, but we also got refunded the cost of the bag.
We came back an American, and there was nobody. I was in a row of 4. Nobody was sitting with me.
That's awesome.
Cindy had a row of 3. No one was sitting with her. And then so I go, yeah, can I get a rum and Coke? They go, sure. And I brought she goes, oh, no, it's free.
That's amazing.
Here, take another one.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I said, okay. And the food.
No, the row of 4 and the row of 3 is.
Yeah, and
outstanding.
we go
amazing.
We go on United. I don't know if my row, no one was sitting next to me because I was coughing. I don't know, that could have been an issue. But
you were the guy.
I feel like that might have been a big part of it.
Care unit on the airplane.
Do what?
You were on the intensive care section.
Yeah, I had like an IV sticking out of my arm.
Oh my God! Between you and Cindy, it's amazing that you guys got back alive.
It was terrible.
Speaking of, Janet says, "Good hell, you're lucky to be alive." And then she says, "With Colleen's flight history, I would assume problems." I always assume problems, but I'm also cautiously optimistic about this. And the exchange rate for the euro to the dollar is literally 1-to-1 right now, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. When Cindy told me we were coming back on Delta, I go, you gotta be kidding me.
Delta.
I almost refused to fly Delta because I always have issues with it.
Always.
And I was right.
They were like, "Do you want to upgrade to our what's their like special like room where you get the free drinks beforehand?"
Oh, the club thing?
Yes. They were like, "You want to update to the club? It's only $1,000. And I was like, no, thank you.
The thing is, if we would have paid for it, we wouldn't have had time to use it.
Right. And my whole thing was, if it's free drinks, but it's like $1,000 extra, can't I just buy a couple drinks on the flight for about $900 less?
We used to have the United Club, and that was great.
Oh, that's right. You guys did. But then you had to fly United, which was not great.
Yeah, Yeah, flying out to United, they gave us. There was one choice for food flying to Germany, and it was some I don't know some vegetarian noodle thing, and it was so bad. I go, I'll just eat this roll.
That's the one thing that also what we learned when we went to London, because you can't fly to London with a pregnant lady and be like, this food is great. So that is the one thing that we did learn, like bring your own food on the flight. But we have a layover at JFK for like 2 hours on the way there, so I feel like we can find enough food there to also. Janet says, if there's problems, free drinks or not free make a difference. Yes, they do. Especially if you want to sleep for the whole flight. The way there is always rough, because the way there is, overnight. And that's tough because, you're used to sleeping, but like you don't really sleep on the flight, and then you get there and it's like 3 a.m. your time. Now. Yeah.
I said, okay, I brought a little thing pillow, and I was going to sleep on the tray. No, I couldn't get my head.
No, because the trays are so little. Yeah.
Well, no, the seat, because the person in front of me, of course, flings all the way back. They really should not allow the seats to recline anymore.
Not with them that close together.
Or maybe they could just, because don't forget it was fine reclined before they added the extra seats, the extra rows, in order to, make more money per person, but also make your experience less whatever. Anyway, speaking of experiences being less whatever, we should probably talk about Survivor, because that's what Elena's here for.
I'm here for the banter.
She is here for the banter.
I'm just sitting here,
So yeah, there's this one time where we went to this party, and I went to introduce myself to Sandra, and then my child ran away, and I looked like a moron because I was like, "I'm Colleen, and this is," and then I turn around, and my child is nowhere near me. He had run to go hide with Elena because he was like, "She's a safe space."
She is a pretzel.
Yeah. She is nowhere near where my mother is.
Maybe she knew that. Maybe he knew that. Sandra knew that.
He's seen.
Didn't think she was the queen. That she wasn't worthy of her.
Oh no, that's not true.
I've heard Zach say that a couple times. So
no, that's not true.
He was like, I know what her powers are.
He did, and then we went to pee with Sandra, and my butt touched the same seat she did immediately following hers. So I feel like me and that toilet seat are Eskimo brothers now.
You got that butt warm.
Did she pee on the toilet seat?
She did not. So again, me and the toilet seat are Eskimo brothers. But
so she's no Colt McCoy.
No, but she was talking smack the whole time. And I was like, oh my God, she does not know who is in here from Adam, but she is talking smack about it. It was really fun. It was super fun.
It was
super
among
great.
Friends. And but she did not share Zachary's sadness over. Oh no, it was James. She was pretty vocal about.
Yeah, Zachary was really sad over losing Ryan because his two favorite players were Jesse and Ryan. But she was very vocal about James.
With, Sandra when James went home.
Not a fan of not sad that James went home.
Here's what I found.
Ooh, my Siri is apparently.
I don't understand why they voted out Ryan. I'm just like going. He was literally no threat at all.
So I rewatched it tonight because it was very noisy and it was tough for us to hear, even though the closed captioning was on last night. I'm very, as you all know, I talk a lot. So, like, poor Elena probably didn't watch any of it last night because I was like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah.
I've watched Survivor with you enough, I know.
Yes.
And I could have rewatched it today too, but I think it was fairly straightforward. I don't think there was a lot of nuance.
Yeah, so the whole James thing, from what I rewatched tonight, when I rewatched and I understood, is they were worried that he was kind of running the game. And you know, even though Carla wanted Owen out, Noelle and Owen, like, they all wanted James out because they thought he was the biggest threat. And we didn't quite pick up on that. And I didn't even quite pick up on the Ryan vote last night. Viewing parties are super, super fun, and I would go to them 100% of the time. But if you want to pick up on nuance, you really can't watch them at viewing parties.
Right. And there's the whole... I've gone in and I've done some digging and some listening to interviews, because there wasn't the nuance. There wasn't a lot of nuance, but what there was is, like, there's got to be missing scenes, because the Owen and James argument, like, that doesn't match up. Like, him accusing him of voting for Ryan, and it's like, but that's not what happened. And
well, I think
Owen's
the
not
whole thing
saying
also
that's not what happened. There was a very confusing mix of who did what.
My gathering from my second viewing was that with James, at least, was there. With Ryan, it was, do you send a challenge beast home, or do you send, a number for somebody else home? And it looked like
challenge beast.
They called him a challenge beast. I literally wrote that down.
Really?
For Ryan?
I did. I wrote, do you send a challenge? Oh, maybe that was James. I wrote him, but I assumed that we were talking.
Well,
about
I don't think James
was either.
No.
Okay, so then,
yeah.
But at some point they. Jesse and Cody were talking about Cassidy, or the Cassidy vote was James, right? Okay.
It was Ryan.
Okay, so I got it right the first time. Yeah. Okay, do they send a challenge beast home like Ryan?
I send Cassidy home. It's a no-brainer.
Well, this is what I wrote down verbatim. Jesse and Cody aren't sure if they get rid of Cassidy or send a challenge beast home like Ryan. Do you make Carla mad with Ryan, or do you send Cassidy home?
Well, and I think that all the way up to Tribal, the way we were told the story is that they were going to just kind of make that final decision once they got to Tribal to see who did Carla take out. Right? Because they kind of wanted to see what was going on the other side. They had the advantage of knowing who the right person was to go out based off of who the other group voted out. Mm-hmm. So for some reason, them voting out James gave them the idea that Ryan was the one that needed to go over Cassidy. But then I also think there was a little bit of concern that Ryan might... Because Ryan could be the guy that's really not doing a whole heck of a lot except for going out there and fishing and kind of doing his own
the dude
thing.
Did bring like 20 tons of fish to Tribal.
But he could have been that dark horse at the end that just steamrolled the last 5 rolls of, so they were like, we can't risk it. They know what they have with Cassidy.
But he couldn't win.
I agree with Jack.
From where we're seeing it, I couldn't see him winning either.
There's been 43 Survivor seasons, right? When was the last time the provider got all the votes?
It's funny because the provider
never gets any votes.
No, it gets you to a certain point in the game, right? But once you get past merge, it's not a token to keep you there anymore. It's not. In fact, it puts a target on you.
Right.
So didn't they say at some point, Jesse and Cody, that if they saw James go out, they'd take out Cassidy, but then they didn't. They did the opposite.
That's how I felt it was too. That's what I mean. There was something that there's like a missing segment that
it makes me think that maybe they don't think they have a chance at Ryan and getting him on their side. But if they can get Cassidy, save her, get credit for the save, and know that Carla is now with her and not with James, that's a guaranteed +2. So you have either Ryan, who we can't guarantee, or now we have Cassidy, who has
Carla
owes us, and she's taking Carla with her because we know
Carla's
that they're
friends with Cassidy. So they're close. So that's
going to 2-for-1 kind of swap by giving Cassidy their vote.
Yeah,
I still vote her out. Because right now the three women left are the favorites, I would say, to win.
I think funny because
we know that, but I don't know that they know. I mean, Carla last night.
I think
we love Carla, but she was I think she overtook
got
Jesse.
She got more applause last night than Jesse did.
But I don't know that that's conveying there. Like, we know that, we see it, we hear her story, we've been behind her.
Yeah, but the fact that everybody on there thinks that they're Carla's number one and they want to be friends with Carla and they don't want to make Carla mad. I think everybody else on there recognizes without recognizing that Carla might be their biggest threat, and that makes me worried about Carla because how many people are like you have Sammy who's like
I feel like Jesse definitely sees that. I think more than anybody else in this group, Jesse was contemplating what it was going to take to keep Carla close so he could keep an eye on her and cut her when he wanted to cut her before she could cut him. Like, I the feeling for me is that they have their sights on each other at this point. Like, I think they both spot each other's game, and one of the two of them is going to have to take the other one out, like, next week.
Well, yeah, but don't forget, they both have idols, right?
Yeah, Jesse's got two.
Jesse has the idol that he got
I
from...
can't keep track.
So I know...
Dwight's.
So we know that Jesse has Dwight's... he has the idol that Janine gave to Dwight that Dwight gave to Jesse. And Jesse has come into that, which is probably the most convoluted yet easiest idol possession ever. And then we know that Carla has the Beware Advantage idol, right? From the beads.
Yes, her beads.
So does Cody.
So, yes. So next week could potentially be freaking nuts if everybody goes after each other because they think that it's time, because we have 8 left. So now is the time that you start taking out your big threats, right? Like, you can't let anybody that's big get further than this, right?
I think with all the people left, I think anyone could probably win the game.
Here's the question. Are they going to throw... Are they going to throw the knowledge is power? Are they going to throw that back in? They've done it twice now. You know, like the first introduction of it, and then they threw it back into the game.
It'll be on someone's pillow next week.
It'll be on someone's pillow next week. But like, that'd be so annoying if they did. I hope that they don't. I truly hope they don't, because at this point, we've got 8 left. We've got 8 left. That's what, 3 weeks of voting left. 4 weeks of 4 votes where like they're all valid. Like, it would be very frustrating from a fan point of view if knowledge and power went back in.
I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel that advantage is actually a really big disadvantage, because it's like whoever's holding it goes home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think it's always caused a
you can't let anyone know you have it.
Yeah, it's always caused a stir because no one's kept it lip tight.
Well, James didn't have really a choice, because they were in the well and he just was like, "Hey, what's that?"
Yeah.
True.
I can have advantage. Like, it was very much. Okay.
I think we said at the time I wouldn't have taken it.
Wouldn't have touched it.
But like, to his point, though, if you don't take it, somebody else is going to, but you won't know who else. So is it better the devil you know that you have, or the devil you don't know that somebody else has?
Wait till there's 4 other people. There's 3 other guys there, right? 3 other people.
I guess the only good part about that is if you don't have any other advantages, like, that doesn't work for you.
You sit there and wait till someone takes it.
And this is where you need to build, your little secret spy hut is somewhere near the water well. We see it. There's always advantages by the water well at some point in the game. If that's where your spy hut is, you are bound to catch somebody get something.
That's very true. That's a good spy shack.
So yeah, the James
or you
and
climb in
Owen.
the water well and just
just jump right in. The James and Owen argument.
Stop fighting! I'm tired of listening to it.
What do you guys?
Oh my god! Anybody want a papaya? That was so funny. Even in our like big group, like, everybody laughed. It was very, very funny.
That was amazing.
Yeah, Hi on Twitter said last night during the middle of this argument, he said, "Wait, is that the straight version of my cat fight with Romeo last season?"
Yes, it's not as fun.
It was quite nearly the same, yes.
I thought at the time Owen was making a mistake. I said he should just say, "You got to play the game. You got to play the game."
Well, I love it because he tries to warn everybody that he's a curmudgeon, right? Like, that's the thing. He's always all like, okay, there it is. There's the moodiness. We got it. He was like not having it. He wasn't going to have it.
Say he goes to the final 3. Is he going to get James' vote?
No. Okay. And see, now this is the thing. So what? Okay. So last week, my paths might have been crossed here. So last week he was told that he just wanted to be in the loop, right? He didn't care who to write down. Just tell me who to write down, and I'll do it.
Which is fair.
And they said, okay, it's Ryan. Okay. I think, was it James that said, okay, it's Ryan. You need to write down Ryan. Okay. So then there was some sort of conversation maybe that involved Gabler or something, like right up into tribal. And then they were like, it's Janine. So when Owen's like, I wrote down Ryan, he didn't. He wrote down Janine. And I thought it was, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny because he looks over at her, you know, and sitting over there by herself, and Jury's like, I got you, girl. Like that face. I'm like, that's going to be bad later. Like, that's going to be a check that you're not going to be able to cash, because if she does find out, no, he actually did write you down and he's still manipulating you from that seat, that's not going to go well with her. I don't think. But it was a very confusing mismatch of everything. But I do love that, like you said, we got all the facial expressions from Noelle, and, you know, the offer for papaya. Papaya is, you know, that's the real currency in Survivor.
Don't take my papaya.
That she's gnawing through, you know, like raw papaya. Just,
yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
She's tough. She doesn't take any crap.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I just...
Not even a little bit.
And that was a good move by her yesterday. That was a...
By who? By
Noelle. Yeah.
Noelle,
Yes.
That was, God.
That was a good resume move.
It was a great resume move. It's one of the better
moves of the New Age, don't you think? Like New Age Survivor, it definitely is in the top list of moves.
If James is not bitter, I'm sure if she goes to the final 3, James should vote for her.
Well, hopefully his cool beans that weren't cool will. It was more like salty beans. When those calm down a little bit, maybe then he'll appreciate the move.
Yeah.
Were you guys worried? Were you guys worried when Sammy went to
Carla?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I mean, it was like everyone was so excited. You could just feel the energy in the room, and it was so high. And then as soon as Sammy just opened his mouth to Carla, it was like.
But that's a huge testament.
It was great editing, but it was just.
So everybody was like, oh my God, does this mean Sammy's going home? Is Carly going to turn on Sammy? Like, oh my God.
I thought it was a bad but Sammy every week is going to make a bold move.
And you know what? To Sammy's credit, like, power to Sammy. Power to Sammy. He makes a bold move every single week.
And it's not worked completely.
And well, this week it did. But however, it has worked though, because he was part of telling Gabler that Ellie did it. So like power to Sammy that like he has actually pulled off the seeds he planted from his bold moves every week. They seem to actually pay off, but he's just like flying under everybody's radar. Where
I have on the right side of the vote every time.
Every single time.
Maybe one, if one, maybe.
Yes, because we've actually talked about here, like, how did Sammy vote this way when we didn't think he was going to? So we're not seeing something where Sammy is in with the crowd.
I have a theory that if we were to go back and talk to Sammy's kindergarten teacher, that he was the one that spent all of his time in front of the tattletale box.
Oh, I like Sammy.
Because that guy cannot let a blind side be a blind side. He's just all like, what? I gotta go tell everyone what's going on. Like,
but you know what? It still worked though. Janine, not Janine. I'm sorry.
Bobby's coloring outside the lines.
Right, but it still worked though, because Ryan was blindsided, and Scott in the chat said, "Owen, I thought Owen."
They could have told Ryan he was going home before the vote, and he still would have been blindsided.
That's very true. That's very true. Ryan was very, very secure in his game.
You know the problem with Ryan? He's too nice.
Yep.
He's too nice.
That's very true.
He thinks he has these great, these great strategies. And he's just too nice.
You're right. I meant James.
I don't do that stuff, but I have my, picks after preseason stuff. He was my heart pick. I really just thought his story.
He was my final pick.
He was in Janet's final 3. We all, Ryan. I meant James. Like, when Owen stole the vote to vote out, when Cassidy stole Owen's vote, and,
I agree with Scott.
Yeah, Owen wasn't acting worried enough, but James still didn't seem to pick up on it. Which
I think that's because James was sitting a little bit in the ego island.
Yes.
Because he felt like he was the one that was making some of these shots, like he was calling some of these shots, and then there was the whole
he was
the
blindsided.
ruffling of the rooster feathers that he had with Owen. Right. I just think he was blinded a little bit by his own his own ego in the moment. He thought
Cassidy told him the truth. I'm going to take to a point. I'm going to steal Owen's vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she lied, saying I'm going to vote for Owen twice, but she voted for James twice. So I thought that was a good move on her part.
I thought that was a great move for Cassidy. Like she had everybody
Noelle,
fooled.
right?
I thought that Cassidy. What? Sorry.
Noelle took
Noelle. Yes, sorry,
right.
That was Noelle. Thank you. Like I Noelle did like a great job with that. Like she managed to flush the advantage.
Yep.
She successfully used her steal a vote.
I wonder if she was, when she was watching these two men get super irritated with each other and she was offering the papaya, I'm wondering if it was during that time when she was hatching this plan together. Did it start as a premeditated thing, or did it just fall together because one or two people mentioned the right thing and then it was this spark of an idea?
Who's a bigger threat to win between Owen and James? I would say James.
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
And power to Carla, because she clearly wanted to keep James, but she recognized that that's not where the trend was heading. And that is also what makes a good player, is knowing when your plan's not going to work out and you need to then go with somebody else's.
She's had that right from the beginning. Right from the first time she had to go to tribal, she has a very good understanding of sometimes you have to do what you don't want to have to do to get to where you want to be. So, I mean,
you have to survive. She had the immunity idol, but you have to survive another day.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And she did, and she kicked it in the challenge, which was really fun to watch. And isn't it always so exciting when you see somebody just be like, I can't believe I just was able to do this thing that I didn't think I was going to be able to do because it's so hard. So that was really great to get to have.
I do like when Gabler said
that moment.
Great job, guys.
Yeah.
Goes,
yeah.
And
how about the big girls?
Yeah.
So one of the girls we were with last night, one of the ladies we were with last night, she said, that's going to be a t-shirt. And
she did. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah,
we're going to be twinsies with that one.
But after that, Gabler was like, good job, Carla. Hey, I was rooting for you, Carla. Hey, good. He's trying to say, he was trying to save face there where he
where was your 1 minute dedication to Carla?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Carla got the episode title, so whatever.
Yes.
When you're getting down to the jury, you can't say something stupid like that.
Very true. Which I think actually might be a good case for Carla, because clearly James is, going to direct his anger at Owen, Noelle. Carla kind of got off scot-free here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the way to do it, right? Also, you want to be strategic and be seen, as a strategic winner, but you also don't want to get your hands so dirty that you turn people off from voting against you. It's a very delicate balance, new Survivor, right?
Yeah.
Well, and it's a tried and true that you've seen many a time where you go, you get down to your final 2 or your final 3, and you go, how did this person win? And it's a bitter jury. Well, we've said it a bunch of times. If you can't make it past the jury, then you don't deserve the win, because jury management is an essential part of the end game. In both Survivor and Big Brother, even though you have to take different steps to get the message to jury.
Yeah,
exactly. Without it, you can get all the way to the end, but if you don't have the support from your ex-team members, you're not winning the game.
No.
Yeah.
You either have to make such ballsy moves that are so respectable because they're just such great moves, or you have to have some real social game with the people that you voted out for them to be okay for giving you all this money, that they stopped their jobs and their lives and left their family to try to, it was their dream too. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Scott,
one of the better jury speeches that I ever heard was on Australia's last year, and the winner said, like, you want somebody that represents this season of Survivor, and that's me. And it's really about like who's going to represent everything you guys went through, what the overall energy and the soul of these tribes are, because every season we get just a different dynamic of people. You can make yourself that person. If you get this far to jury, you just say the right things to the right people and you can win the game.
Yeah. So speaking of people that used to rub them the wrong way, but now seems to be saying the right things, Scott points out, how has Cody had no real heat on getting voted out lately? I think that Cody just figured out how to lay low, like let the others attack each other.
He's definitely laying low. He's fun. He's a fun person to hang out with. He's not rubbing people the wrong way.
And also,
it looks like he's staying in camp where Ryan is going away. I mean, I get it. You want to provide for people, but you can't go away from 3 hours a day and leave the game. You can't leave the game for 3 hours.
Well, it also feels like Ryan had that BDE where, you know, it was intimidating. Like when you're playing Survivor, you don't want to have that like big D energy. You want to have that energy, but you don't want to have like the big guy energy.
You take someone else out with you.
It'll take you out.
And
Cody, I mean, you go out there with someone else.
He seems like the kind of guy who drinks like a case of Mountain Dew on a daily basis, and he's not. So his personality is kind of mellowed. Just
all of that, yes.
Starvation and everything else. So he's a little chill. The manic energy has dissipated from his system.
Yes,
well,
better.
It's also he's not doing because at first it was an adventure for him. I'm going to jump off this rock. I'm going to go do this. Well, he was there just to have fun. And now it's almost like the first Survivor, where 90% of the people were just there to have fun and didn't realize. And Richard Hatch goes, "Oh, I'm going to win $1 million. These people are stupid."
Guys, he got to thinking about that wrestling match he lost.
But also, don't forget, honestly,
like no more. This is serious now.
But you know, for as unserious as Cody was in those first few episodes, like Jesse, like people that are actually serious players are taking him seriously and acting like he is the leader of, whatever he's the leader of. Like maybe he's the one that's keeping Gabler in check, and a Gabler Wrangler is priceless. But
like we said, does anybody dislike him? No.
It doesn't seem like they do, but it seems like he spends a lot of time chilling with Jesse. So I think there's at this point there's not enough distraction. There's not enough people for there to be a distraction from it, but it's clear there's this like bromance, and I really feel like I mean, we got a little clip of it going forward, but like I said earlier, I think that Jesse and Carla are going to have their sights on each other, and Jesse being with Cody all the time is just making that target a lot bigger. So I'm a little bit worried in that corner. But he has mellowed a lot that we've seen. We've seen him mellow a lot.
And I think the more mellow his game gets that we see, the less chance that he has to win. And I truly mean that. Like, we see that his opinion is important to the Kingmakers, but he's a kingmaker, but he's not making really as many decisions as
not only is he not drinking a lot of Mountain Dew, but he's not eating as much either.
That's very true.
So he probably doesn't have the energy like you were pointing out.
But he won. He had immunity.
So
he got the immunity, but I feel that also you mislabeled the Kingmakers. They are ass makers. Remember what we're talking about?
Never forget the butt tattoo.
I keep forgetting he's the ass maker. I keep forgetting that.
He's the ass maker that just keeps on living.
Keeps on living.
Scott says that he's a challenge threat. He is now because he won.
Yep.
But he is. Yep. Yeah, he is.
That's the first
more
time.
So than Ryan, who got voted out because he was a challenge beast or whatever challenge threat.
Yeah.
So we've had Cody. Who do we have like that has won? We have Cody and Gabler and Carla.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I just feel like there's just a heap full of bigger challenge beasts than Ryan was. I mean,
And Ryan, and again, he wasn't a great player.
Again, he did go home with like 15 pounds of fish or whatever it was.
But I mean, I'm going to go back to is it the vote they cast versus the vote they didn't? Like, they?
I feel that's absolutely
a vote for Ryan or a vote, saved for Cassidy. And I mean, I think that it didn't occur to me, initially, but if you look at it that way and knowing what they said about their read on who goes out on the first tribal and what decision it would make, maybe they saw that, James going out was an opportunity to get closer to Carla, to, whether it's to align with her or to be able to influence her, and get her out.
Well, and in this,
that would make sense, because I at this point in the game, you have to start thinking, who can I beat?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
It's not who I can work with anymore.
I can beat Ryan.
Well, and that's what actually
the mean way. He's just not a great player.
And that's what brings me to this next question before we move on. Is I feel like we're at that point. We're at 8 now. So what's that? 4 more weeks of Survivor?
Is it like the 15th, the week of the 15th? I
think
is
the 14th is the finale.
Okay, so 4 more weeks of Survivor. So at some point, we know that Jesse and Carla have to see each other as threats. Nobody sees Sammy as a threat, but at some point, somebody's gonna have to see him as a threat. Cody, at some point, I feel like they might see him as a threat just because we were talking about him, possibly being a kingmaker. And Noelle and Cassidy, like, they're playing very good under the radar games. So at what point
I don't know if Noelle's playing under the radar.
Well, not anymore. She was playing under the radar. Now she is not.
They accused her, was it last week, of being, she's trying to dictate the game and trying. She's not one to keep her mouth. Yeah, she's not one to keep her mouth. A couple weeks
ago, she was on the chopping block. I think the preview was very ominous for Noelle. So she's kind of gone up and down in terms of, threat level, I'd say, but she got, for the last couple of weeks to hide behind like this week, James and Owen drama.
I mean, she could be the next one to go. I mean,
well, you will have a chance to vote on her in a minute.
A dangerous thing for Sammy's game is because he has that I'm going to go tell this person this and we're going to try to make this move. That is a dangerous game to play at this point, because all that has to happen is one cross-reference. And
who got hurt with that last season?
Remember
it came out that some.
It was High, wasn't it?
No, not High. Yeah, right. It was High.
It was High.
Omer too. Because Omer's the one.
Omer got High, because we thought High was going to get caught with it.
Yep.
But then he just ended up getting voted out because he was. It was Omer that got it. Yeah.
That he was.
And I mean, we were all like, wow, his game is great. His game is great. His game is great. And then 2 people were like, well, he told me this. Well, he told me this. And it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you're making a great point with Sammy, because you have to cut back your chatter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's hard because you're out there doing.
That's going to be where he has to go. Going from 19 to 22 is
go fishing for 3 hours.
Yeah. You need to just get out there. Go be Ryan for a minute and figure that out. Now, one other thing I just kind of wanted to say with this like new generation of Survivor, where we have the shortened season, I think some of that takes away from I know they spend a lot of time out there like not doing much of anything. And so that used to be the reasoning that you would hear, like, oh, I have this advantage and I just, there's nothing to do. You end up talking about your advantages because it's something exciting to talk about. That's shorter now, so that's not really part of it, but we've shifted this game now where it's like, it's not about I have to share something because it's just something to talk about. It's like I have to share something because this is what's is expected from my generation in society.
Trust.
It's like
it's a game about not trusting people.
Yes. And that's it, right? So we spend all of these years with the game that it's about outwitting, it's outwit, outsmart, outplay. And now it's like build bonds, make trust, but loyalty doesn't get you the same distance that it used to get you when the game was about not being loyal. It's just this really weird shift in dynamics of the game. And there was a really great conversation this week between Christian and Rob Cesarino, where they were just kind of shifting through all of the different changes in the game and what might cause some of the discord with the fan base, because we do have people that are like, oh, I don't like this new Survivor, it doesn't sit right, and what have you. Do you feel like the shortening of the season, though it makes for an easier television schedule and definitely for podcasting, but do you think it's a detriment to the real social gameplay and the need to create messier neat paths?
I don't know. I thought about this today, actually, when I realized it was day 16 and we're almost done. But at the same time, how many seasons do we have survivors complaining oh, we don't do anything all day for days?
People do
and
love
to say
I kind of go back and forth with it, but they've shortened it, but they're giving them less food.
Right, so they're making them hangrier, so they're still getting the same effects as if they went for days in between.
Plus your challenge schedule's probably, your immunity things and all that.
Yeah.
Reward you're probably stepping that up. So they seem, but this group doesn't seem as angry.
As 41.
The Shan group was super hangry.
See, I guess
the personalities aren't as strong, is what I think I'm trying to say. They got more.
They have an interesting cast. It's been an interesting cast, but I guess what I'm trying to
everybody's
say is
likable this season.
Right. When we had a longer game, it's like the players had to think through every move they made a few more steps ahead. Yeah. And since we've shortened this, every single season, everyone's game is just messy. That's just it's funny sometimes how these things happen with the idols and the advantages, but it's everyone plays this really messy game.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the day of a neat game is gone.
Or maybe people just have to adapt.
Plus, they're also probably doing it. The production cost is probably way down because they're not out there for
likely
40 days. They're out there for 26 days or whatever it is. I mean, they're not.
And they're in a tight rotation too. It's not like there's a big gap between filming one season to the next now.
I mean, I don't know how many people watch Big Brother, but they've even changed a lot of the.
Yeah.
It's usually one location. They're not going back, all over the place. They're usually staying in the same country during the whole race. That leg of the race.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper to do it. Plus with COVID too, it's more controllable.
I'm trying to think of the winners recently. So Marianne last season was the winner. Did she win because she didn't have a messy game and everybody else did?
Oh, Marianne had a messy game though. She bugged everybody
in the beginning, but I think that was her strategy.
In the end, her game got a lot tighter, I think. And
we've seen that happen with a lot of winners, right? Where they're they get to that point where they're like, click, this is my time, go. Not everybody is going to play a game like a Kim Spradlin or a Tony game where you're like, oh, I got this from day one.
Yeah. And I think that Marianne too.
Sorry, I know, Elaine, I'm sorry. I know you're trying to finish your thought.
I'm not a professional at this like y'all are, so I need to learn how to.
Super not a professional. Been watching this show for literally 50% of the time than everybody else has.
I remember with Marianne, though, it's her whole first half was this really messy game. She just kind of relied on luck and her personality, which is fine because it's a great personality. But I think what won her season wasn't the fact that her game got really neat and tidy. It's that she had one really great move and she knew how to own it and explain it to the jury. I feel like one move and her jury management is how she won that game. Not even her social game. That jury management was so good.
Would a longer season have done her in because she was kind of...
It may have.
Because let's face it, she was kind of annoying it for a while there. People were like, okay, I can't take her anymore. Would a longer if you're going 3 days, if you're there for you said it was the 16th day yesterday. Okay, if you're 16th day and it's only like the 3 people that voted out, you're like going, okay, I can't take her anymore. You've seen that in the past where people just get to the point, I can't be around him anymore.
So Cody's going to win, is what Jack's saying.
Yeah,
That's how we felt week 1.
Yes.
So there you go, Jack. Welcome.
There it is.
Done.
Well, it was
Bam.
Cody.
We're done.
Same,
That's it.
the
Cody's
same
the
thing
winner.
with
Elena
Erica.
predicted it.
Right? Same thing with Erica, because at the beginning it was like, Erica, like who? Erica what? Erica, huh? You know, and the only time we saw her is if she was crying, you know, or like upset about something. And then suddenly at the end, here she is, like, oh, fire what? And,
But like that's also not a testament to her game. That's like the editors that were like
we didn't see we didn't see why she won.
Right, like
No,
the players in
But I
Erica's
think
season
that, like,
saw why Erica should have won. We did not, and that's not our fault, and
No,
that's not their
but I'm
fault.
wondering if
And
that
they
season
should always. I
is
think
part
it's
of that.
time. They should always show. A
Oh
reason
gosh,
why
my Siri is
somebody
going
won.
crazy. Sorry, Jack.
Right.
My Siri just went nuts. What'd you say?
I said they should always show a reason why somebody won.
100%.
It's like doing a whodunit. You know, whodunit. You're watching
Exactly. Like, and that's the bummer.
It was Mr.
Right, and like that's like
where did he come from?
That's like the before we move on, because we do need to move on. But
The
like
killing.
that's kind of like the like Sophie's choice of like the Survivor editors, right? Like, do you show why somebody's gonna win because it makes the most sense, or you just have somebody win out of nowhere because that's a shock value?
You show several. I mean, there's. You
Show
look at
it
right now.
Like we
I'm
all
looking
like
at the-
rooting
I'm looking
for
at the names. I'm looking at the names. I think anyone could win it, depending on how they finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's.
I don't think Cassidy could win it.
I think she
Maybe
can.
not
She's nice. I mean, she's pleasant.
She's pleasant, and
She's
we also
very
saw her
though.
childhood
And-
story. We saw her childhood story.
And she looks like the girl in Stranger Things. So
The one that died in the
Not the
first episode of
first time.
season 4.
That's why we win.
She looks
She's
like
a
Chrissy the
little cutie
cheerleader.
patootie. Every single time they like show her in a confessional, I'm just like, she's just so cute. She's so adorable.
She has
She
wonderful
is.
hair.
I mean,
Wonderful
I
hair.
had forgotten her backstory. I was aware of it when I saw the preseason stuff, and they hadn't really revisited that. Some of the things, we've heard about Ryan. Obviously, Noel, we can't not hear about. Jesse, maybe because he's Durham and local, and obviously now, we know a lot about his history, but I had kind of forgotten about Cassidy and her sister. And so.
Wait, what was it Cassidy and her sister story? Ellie's the one that had the sister that died of the overdose.
There was two of them.
Yeah, both of them.
She's wearing her ashes in her necklace.
Oh, that's right. I literally watched this tonight. Okay.
Because now I'm looking again. Who hasn't had? Because I need to pick who's going home next. Who hasn't had a backstory yet? So,
well, we were certain it was Cassidy.
Yeah, our whole table literally. Okay.
Everyone was like in the bathroom. It's written in.
To come full circle, what Elena is trying to say. Sorry, Elena. I do this. I'm sorry. I'm very obnoxious. Our whole table, we were like, okay, when Cassidy gets voted out and it's like down to 2 women left, we're all going to go boo, right? So everyone is sitting there, we're prepared to go boo. And then Ryan got voted out. We were like, oh, what do we do now?
I'm gonna be real honest.
We don't want to boo Ryan because we like him, but we also didn't see that coming.
I didn't want Cassidy to go because I like Cassidy in the game, and I like that there's still some girls in the game. However,
3.
Her and James were my picks. So I was like, oh man, I could just get a double whammy. And
you were thinking points.
Oh, it would have been so good.
But to be fair, that's in the spirit of Survivor, like playing Survivor, right? You're not thinking about like what everybody else is going to think. You're thinking how you're going to win. Yeah.
I'm like, it's about me. This is about me, right?
Well, like I said, I think my winner's pick was Ryan, and I'm like, I realized since the 3rd week, okay, he can't win.
Your winner's pick is Ryan. Mine is Jesse. Oh my God, that's so great. I totally forgot last night that it was Jesse. Jamie's is also Jesse. So Jack, you will get, let's do a commercial break, but while we're doing that, for the whole 10 seconds, we're going to pause this and save it. Jack, you think of a new winner's pick, and everybody else think of who is going home next week. Spoiler alert. Only one person got points this week. That.
Is it me?
It was not.
You got 10 points last week.
Yeah, I'm winning.
Let's take a quick break, and then, because we're going long, so we're going to need the commercial. And then we'll come back. We'll do the feedback. We'll do tally the votes. Here we go. All right, everybody, we're back. We have one email, but we also... Let's do the email, and then we will talk about the winner's picks. Mandy says, finally we have moves being made. I'm over this playing safe and easy votes. Added bonus that all 3 ladies survived the night. She has about 8 exclamation points. And to which I give you, in honor of Nancy Pelosi retiring, the Nancy Pelosi golf claps. Here we go. Nobody can hear that except the, I'm sure this microphone, which is very sensitive, can pick that up. All right. Anyways, thank you, Mandy, for that email. I am also glad that moves are finally being made. I talked to Shandy earlier tonight, and she wanted to know what's with the forearm shake. Is that a thing? She sent me a literal picture of her TV of Cody and Gabler doing a forearm shake. Nice tats. I don't know. Maybe it's just a dude thing. That's all I've got.
Are there any dudes that could cue us in? Is this a dude thing?
I'm not dude enough.
You're not dude enough. You spend too much time with children whose arms aren't long enough to forearm shake you. So
that's true. Yes.
Shandy also said, Carla is my hero. She had stitches. She's awesome. Yes. I also love the Cody Jesse bromance. She's a snitch. Snitches. Oh, I don't think she's a snitch. That'd be Sammy. Sammy's the snitch. Sammy the snitch. Hashtag. She also said, I also really love the Cody Jesse bromance. I think Jesse is really positioned well to win. I'd be super happy with either him or Carla winning. Yes. Agreed. Same. I guess at this point, they did a good job of, we all like the people who are left. So I genuinely would be okay.
This whole cast I didn't hate any of them.
Exactly. Like, there was no villains. Like, even last week, they were super stretching to get us to hate Tori, and we all fell for it because there was nobody else to dislike. But anyway, there was nobody this season. Like, everybody's just likable. Okay, so going off of just strict...
I took Noelle last week. What was I thinking?
I don't know. You had pneumonia. I mean, it was just really tough. You had... Okay, so...
Bad time for you.
Last week, everybody had Cassidy going home. Nobody got points for that.
I had James the week before.
You had James the week before, but that doesn't count. Jamie got a point for James. Jack and I had Owen, Cassidy, and Sammy.
I don't know why I would go. I wasn't thinking last week.
You know what? You just didn't feel good. So... No. Jamie and I are currently tied with 5. Jack has 6. If we're going to move over to the season picks, James went home. Jamie had him final 3. Jack had merge.
I'm winning?
You are winning. You had merge. I had final 3. So, Jack, you actually extend your lead with merge for James. And then as far as Ryan goes, Jamie and I had merge. Jack had final 3, so we actually... Oh, I'm so sorry! Wait, hold on. Did I just read the wrong person? JK, it was Ryan. Okay, no, we had merged. Jack had final 3. So, actually, we all kind of even each other out, in which Jamie has 5, Jack has 6, and I have... No, I'm sorry, Jamie... Wait, hold on.
Didn't I have 6 before?
You had 6. 7. Hold on, I just messed up super bad. Okay, Jamie got a point for going home. Jack and I didn't. Jack, you got a point for... What did you have before we started?
You should have... He had 6. He should have 7 now.
Okay, so he should have 7. So Jamie and I are tied at 6, and Jack is ahead with 7.
Jack, look at you.
Jack.
It's my game to lose.
Your game to lose.
Of course, I lost my winner's pick.
Okay.
So you have to pick a new winner's pick.
You need to pick a new winner's pick. I don't know how many points you'll get. I'll ask Jay at a later date. But while you're thinking of that,
if it was Jay picking, it would be probably 1,000.
Probably, but it's not. I'm going to go with Carla next week. I'm going to go ahead and make a big move.
Ooh, yeah. Wow.
Oh, she's going home, you're saying?
I am going with that while you think of your new winner's pick. I love Carla. I hope I'm wrong, but we're getting down to that final group.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
And I think it's time to everybody to tighten up. And does she have any advantages left? Or she has one advantage, right? She has
an idol.
She has an idol.
She has an idol.
Oh, she might play it. Jessie has an idol. She has an idol.
Cody has an idol.
Oh my God! What if we had an advantage? Get him.
Well, no spoilers, but we were informed by a reliable source that it's going to be a good episode.
We heard it's going to be a banger.
All right.
But that again doesn't mean
I was getting that energy with all of the little clips of everyone being super hangry and moody and stressed out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like that big hungry energy right there.
I'm gonna throw out Sammy. I'm gonna say this is Sammy.
I do kind of think now that I think about like an advantage get him, I feel like advantage get him might actually affect Sammy most of all. Because
what about Gabler? Because he doesn't have anything either, right?
Yeah, but Gabler is viewed as somebody's number, I think.
Okay. Yeah, they use Gabler a lot. Like, he's been really great about like whatever you say and just checking it off. So.
Okay, who's left? Here's who's left. Okay, you ready, guys? We have Gabler, Noelle, Owen, Cody, Sammy, Carla, Jessie, and Cassidy. Could be Owen. All right, I'm going with Owen. No, I'm gonna stick with Carla, cause that's big points, and you guys aren't gonna do that. So I'm gonna stick with Carla.
We're not. Yep, that would be it. That'd be a cincher, I bet. If you get it.
It sure would be. What'd you say you're going with, Sammy?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sammy.
Okay. Jack?
I'm going with Noelle.
All right.
Oh, hold on. Apparently typing is hard. I think that all three of us have really good shots. Elena, would you like to make any of us feel bad about her?
I guess wager.
No, I think you guys all have sound reasoning behind your.
I'm just making a big move because I want to.
Hey,
yeah.
It's that time.
I think
that's what you got to do.
Noelle made a big move, and I think it's going to put a target on her back.
I agree with that. And I can also see again an advantage get him in which Sammy is just left whatever. Shit. Ooh, sorry, family.
And you can see what like in those challenges where you have to stand still. She's struggling.
But she won.
She's really on it.
Yep.
Not Noelle on this.
All right, fine. I'm gonna switch to Owen. I'm switching to Owen. The end.
Ooh.
I am. Jack. Who? Action Jackson.
Carla.
All right, that's
Carla's going to win it. She's from San Diego. She's going to win it.
I was hoping that that's who you would pick. As we've all been talking about how Carla is like equally in our winner's pick realm as Jessie.
And honestly, I truly hope that you're right. I hope that one of us is right. We now all have my two favorites.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely are my two favorites. And I had, for my final three, I had Jessie as winner and then Carla and James. So Carla it is.
All right, there we go.
All right.
I have a very good feeling that we're all going to be battling it out in the final episode. All right. Any last thoughts before we close up shop for the night? I agree that this was finally an episode.
I gotta take a hot shower. Can you hurry up?
You know what? I dislike you. You know what?
I might just stand there. I'm going to stand there till the water goes cold.
She's still mourning her loss, man.
There's a very good chance we're going to have a shower at your house this weekend. We're not going to have hot water for another week.
That sucks.
It so sucks. Zach tonight was like, so I taught him like the trick to the cold shower, like one limb at a time, but you do like your hair first, because once you can get used to like the head being cold, it's not as awful like the rest of your body, and it's like invigorating. And I definitely messed with him, in which we have the shower head that like removes it, where I took it off, and then I like, while he was cleaning his like shampoo out of his hair, I super sprayed him. I was like, here you go! And he was like, ah!
Traumatized for life.
He might be, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it's those little things. That's what gets you through those little moments.
It is. I actually might shower as soon as we're done, because I've been doing the morning ones, and it is really cold, and I didn't wash my... I'm trying to do like an every other day hair wash.
It's supposed to be like a low of 28 tomorrow morning.
I know. So I might go shower now, in which case, I'll see y'all on Twitter for the last few days while I'm wide awake until 2 in the morning, because I took a ice cold shower.
The Twitter ship sinks, so too shall Colleen jump into the icy waters.
I know. I might have to play like My Heart Will Go On and be like, if you shower, I shower, right?
Hey, it's probably a good idea to run the shower tonight so that your pipes don't freeze overnight.
I guess.
Yeah, you just drip it.
Just drip it.
That's true.
Have one of your faucets drip.
The main problem is the tankless water heater that was put into our house. We have found out now that we've had issues because we have a well water, and it is not for well water. So... this poor little system has been working real hard. It's supposed to last 20 years, but like it's like chugging along real hard here, and it's really cold.
I think I can.
I think basically. Nope. Basically, which I thought was interesting, because we actually I ran the dishwasher last night, and I was like, whatever, like
cold water.
Well, no, when I opened it, I had my glasses on, because I opened it after we got home from the Survivor thing. And my glasses fogged up. It was hot.
It has an element, though. It heats.
Yeah, there's a heating element in it.
Yeah, I learned that last night. I did not know that.
That's how it dries.
Just jump in the dishwasher.
No, I turned the drying part off, actually.
Oh, really?
I literally just put it so that it was just the wash. I clicked, because you have the like dryer or smart dryer, whatever option. I clicked them all off. I only had one green light on when I left for the thing last night.
I hate to brag too. Our water's really hot too.
Yeah, I hate you.
We have our water heater turned up really high, so it's sometimes it's like we're washing
too much. Too much.
Like burning my hands, so it's like
whatever.
Really
I had to do laundry tonight too, and I was like, well. Because I like to do the kids' laundry with the hot water. Like, I feel like my laundry, like, I don't come into contact with that many germs, but they're daycare and elementary school, so, like, they've got some germs. And I was holding off because I was hoping when the guy came today that he'd be able to fix it and we could just wash everything tonight. And then he was like, well, we'll be back to replace it next Wednesday. And I was like, darn it. He was like, or you could wait for this piece that might replace it, but it also might not work, but that will be 2 months. And we were like, huh.
Ridiculous.
Like, really? The shipping time from Japan is 2 months? Okay.
It's supposed to be a cold winter, but I don't know if that helps.
Well,
anyway.
We're 15 minutes away, and you will not get changed.
Dude, you were like a half an hour away.
No, 15. Trust me, I've done it. 15.
You should go to Buffalo, take a shower this weekend.
No.
She's a half hour away, but in cold shower time, she's 15 minutes away.
You 10.
Like I said before we started recording, thank you, Comic-Con, for always being super expensive. We might use Hilton points to just go get a hotel this weekend and shower.
Yeah.
And free breakfast. I love me a continental breakfast. Oh, I'm so lame. We're not really going to do that. We joked about it, though. All right. On that note, everybody, we're probably just going to go to Jack's house like at 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday and be like, we're here to get clean.
Come along, everybody. Everyone's invited.
Jay has a key. I sleep through noise.
Well, that's why when I told my mom that, she was like, was it fixed? And I was like, nope, another week. And she goes, how come you haven't gone to Jack and Cindy's? And I was like, well, Jack has been sick, and also, like, we didn't want to bother them. She's like, but don't you want to take a shower that's hot? And I was like, yeah, I'm basically at that point where I kind of want to bother them.
It's really hot. Just give me heads up and I'll clean the bathroom out.
Not helping. Tonight, what we did for Alex to take a bath, and then we will go for real, is we filled up the bathtub, because he always takes a shower, but we filled up the bathtub about, like, maybe 2 or 3 inches. Like, you know, maybe it was like 2 inches. It wasn't very high. And then we boiled like 6 or 7 pots of water. So we let that get lukewarm, and we filled that up with the boiling water, and then it was also, like, you know, just above lukewarm, so he was able to take a bath. But Zachary had to take the shower, and that was when I was like, you know, close your eyes, I'm going to spray you, but not tell you.
There, kid.
And he shrieked at the top of his lungs. Oh, all right. On that note, everybody.
That's what he gets for talking about poop on a podcast.
Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. And he talked about it again today. He was like, I farted at Parks and Rec and everybody made fun of me. And I was like, well, did you tell them it was you? He was like, yes. And I was like, maybe next time just pretend it wasn't you.
Tell them it was me. I want them to know.
Hasn't he learned you blame it on someone else? Oh my
No.
God, you stink.
He literally learned that today when he farted, owned up to it, and then...
Because he stinks.
He's stinky.
He can clear. He's like his daddy. He can clear a room.
Well, so can I, to be fair. But I have cut out dairy, and it has actually been very, very helpful for me. For anybody out there listening, like, it sucks to give up the things you love, like mozzarella sticks, but also very helpful for the people around you and when you're sleeping at night. All right. On that note, everybody, thanks for listening to this very long, rambly, and ridiculous episode. Thank you, Elena, for joining us. We're very, very happy.
Thanks for letting Colleen out on a Wednesday and letting our play date happen. So.
Yay!
It was great to live vicariously. It was great to share vicarious butt warmth with a survivor star.
Yes, that's right. I did sit on the same toilet seat immediately after Sandra did. And I don't generally sit on toilet seats.
Did you take a selfie?
No, it was okay, that would have been weird. Even I have a threshold of weird.
Sandra, can you stay in here for a second while I take a selfie?
Where we draw the line.
I'm like going.
It wouldn't be the first time.
You know the drill. If there's no picture, it didn't happen.
Going ass to ass on a toilet seat with Sandra. I do have my limits. Turns out that was that. Listening to her trash talk while she's mid-pee. Not my limit. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful night. Thank you so much for inviting us, Elena. Zachary is dead set on going next week. Alex now wants to because he doesn't like to be left out. So, if we do record next week, we will probably... I don't know. Stay tuned for the time. I don't know if we'll go and then immediately come home because it's only 20 minutes from our house. So we could easily just start at 9:30 instead of 9:15. And still record. If Jack wants to join us next week, you can also just join us at the house or your house.
I didn't even watch Survivor. I just went to bed. I watched it in the morning.
Quick note.
We can figure it out.
To do it that way because is Thursday Thanksgiving?
It is Thanksgiving.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is what he said, like it's going to be a smaller crowd next week, which is why I was like, oh, smaller crowd. Okay. So we'll see. Stay tuned for announcements in the Facebook group and whatever on the YouTube channel too. I'll we'll create the link and it'll show the date and the time. Stay tuned for that though. If it's not going to be, Wednesday, maybe we'll do it on like Sunday. What?
I was young.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right, but on that note, though,
talking, just because I'm tired.
We cannot. Scott asked if we can stream from the venue. I can't stream from the venue because the venue actually closes at 9 p.m.
Can you stream from the bathroom?
Maybe.
It is a happening place, we have heard.
Maybe.
We've heard a tale.
Yes, maybe I will Insta Live the toilet seat that Sandra's butt touched. I will not do that. That's gross and weird, and I would not do that to somebody, but I will joke about it. All right, on that note, everyone, thanks for listening. Everyone, send us an email. You can email us SurvivorJJC@gmail.com. Thank you again, Elena, for joining us. Thank you for everybody that joined us in the chat. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level. There'll be Eckhart from Attack from Tokyo, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Shout out to some of our new patrons, which include Jackson from Singapore. Singapore. Let's see. We also got a new patron named.
I just call him Jack.
Named Lillian, and shout out to another new patron, Detonate. So it was very glad to have you all, and we are thankful for you joining us. On that note, we hope we'll see you next week. If we don't see you, have a good Thanksgiving holiday if you're in the United States. If not, have a good week. Travel safely. On that note, my name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
It's been so long, I forgot my name.
Peace out, everybody.